Okay, so we're getting ready to bale this hay here today. The problem is that it is not drying out. We haven't had any drying weather, so we've got Timothy here. He's hooked up the tedder, and I think it was a little messed up. Somebody bent it. But anyway, let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's ripping it apart. It's just too goddamn wet for what we're trying to do. I want to get corn planted in here, and I can't do that because I have all this crap that's mowed and on the ground. So it stinks. I mean, it's a shame you can't smell it. But this stuff has been laying here now for, God, at least a week, and we just have had rain and moisture that is not allowing us to do what we need to do. So probably after about 2 hours, it'll get her down around 50% moisture, and I'm going to bale it. I'm just going to bale it so it gets off these fields, and then this afternoon we're going to plant corn on here. As it's getting late and we're supposed to have rain tomorrow, and I just don't know what else to do. And the moisture's perfect for planting, just not perfect for making hay. So anyways, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, I've moved into some really nasty, gnarly 90% moisture hay right there. As you can see, I'm baling. This baler actually makes a noise when I got a washout I got to repair there. But this baler makes a noise when it makes a knot. But, you know, I don't like that about it, because it scares the shit out of me. Every time it makes a knot, it screams at me and it makes me think that it's jamming up. But anyways, there it is behind me, and this is a pretty heavy windrow for, like, in all honesty, it's at least 80% moisture. I'm just trying to get it off of here because I want to put corn in here yet this afternoon. It's dried up enough that the slots will close, but I had this crap hay on here that needs to go. So what I'm doing is I'm just baling it. I'm going to let it set along the edge of the field in singles, and it will just have to dry itself out, which it will do. We call it steam out. The bales then become loose, but they're good, and they'll need to be put on a load within 2 months. If you let them go any longer than that, they turn to mush. So this baler's actually making the bale a little too long. I have to go back and shorten her up, because I don't need these 12-foot bales or 10-foot bales or whatever the hell they are. I think they're about 9. I need to shorten them up about a foot. So anyways, yeah, we're moving now. I'm going to go to another field here pretty shortly. As you can see, I just finished this one here up, and this is a rough field. Down here there's ruts. Timothy spread fertilizer on this one. It was a little bit too wet, and obviously it didn't do very well as far as not making ruts. But for no-till corn, I think I'll be just fine. So anyways, yeah, there we go. Yeah, the baler is working wonderfully. A little bit different setup than the one before. It has load direction, so if you're filling the bale chamber a little bit too much one direction, it will actually point that stupid little arrow so that I go the other direction. So that's the one difference there. For the most part, it's the same monitor. I thought I was getting the 10-inch monitor, but they wanted $5,000. Okay, so I had my first issue here with the baler, which is nothing unusual to have things loosen up and be stupid. But all that happened was this little sensor here, the bolts and the nuts had loosened up and caused me to have to stop. It kept telling me the feeder shear bolt was broke. So I get out my handy dandy little toolkit here. I have it on hand, and you just tighten it up and it's all good to go. There. It's got a lock nut there, or a lock washer, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fix it and go on. So that ought to do that. Now I get to put it all back together. So far this thing is just unbelievable. I'm calling it the honey badger because it just don't give a shit what it eats. It'll eat anything. So anyways, yeah. figured I'd add a little commentary here to this baler. I had problems today with it. Problems. I like problems, especially with new balers. Now this thing eats hay like, I don't know, a 5-year-old in a candy store. That noise is it making a knot. And I'm not sure that I like that portion of it. I got ruts and I got washouts in this field I got to deal with. But yeah, what happened was the baling twine slipped out of the twine tensioner on the bottom string, and it would make a knot going up, but because the tensioner was not proper, it was pulling too much string out, and it wouldn't make the second knot on the way back down. The needle's coming back down through the knotter. So it took me a while to figure that one out because I'd never had it happen before. Until today. So I've been baling with these big balers since 1998, which is getting a few years into it, you know. The other thing is these machines, if you plug them up, you will want to commit suicide before you get it unplugged. It's very hard to plug them up, but I managed to do it. A wet slug of hay, and it plugged up. So, you know, it does happen. And it's really hard to get it back out of there. So anyways, that's that. Those are the only things I had happen today. Other than that, this baler is now, I mean, I'm baling in 10th gear. The only reason I'm only baling in 10th gear is because this field is rougher than a bear's ass. And yeah, I kind of like my teeth in my mouth, not bounced out onto the floor.